So you're headed to North Dakota this weekend, which is a major weekend because December 5th is a date that the Army Corps of Engineers set, saying that people must leave the area, although the state authorities and even the local authorities are said they are not going to move in on the land to arrest people. It's very complicated messages that are coming out right now. Clearly, President Obama is involved with this. He visited the Standing Rock tribe in 2014, and that's rare for an American president to go to a reservation, so he knows this case well. He was the one to issue that unprecedented 3-agency order from Interior Justice and Army, saying that they will hold off on granting the permit. But where do they stand now? They have not said they will not grant this permit.
Well, I mean, President Obama, he specializes in symbolic gestures because he gives pretty speeches. He's very brilliant. He's very charismatic. But when it comes time to implement and execute on the ground, oftentimes there's a deficit there. We'll see whether he comes through.
So what are you going to do there?
I'm just going down to show my love and solidarity. I was honored to be invited by the elders, as you know, over 200 nations. This is the biggest coming together since the 19th century for indigenous people's struggles. And I just come as a brother, as a comrade, to be in solidarity with them. And I go there and follow instructions. I want to be a force for good there in that context.
And after that, January, you're going to be teaching back at Harvard. What are you going to be teaching? What are you becoming a professor of?
Teach a course. It's a professor of the practice of public philosophy. I mean, it's amazing. It's very kind of them to invite me back.
Explain what that means, to be a professor of public philosophy.
Well, it means simply to engage in a truth-telling and an analysis of structures and institutions and try to shape souls and characters of young people in such a way that they're willing to take stands on issues that have much to do with the destiny of both this nation and the world. But it's a robust, uninhibited dialogue, because you got conservatives, centrists, liberals, radicals, and so forth there. But I'll be teaching with Roberto Unger at the law school. I'll be at the divinity school teaching on Du Bois. And thank God Brother Larry Bobo and Skip Gates and the others were kind enough to invite me back as well. So I look forward to being in the Boston area. It's not my favorite part of the country. I'm from California, but well, I know you know a whole lot about that context.
In this last minute, Fidel Castro.
Yeah, Brother Castro, good God, his solidarity with struggles in Africa.
Did you ever meet him?
I never met Fidel Castro. I went to Cuba, and I went there, and I was characterized as a counter-revolutionary with a smile because I'd called for the rotation of elites. I'm a radical Democrat, democratic socialist. I believe that leaders ought to rotate. So I called for the rotation of elites, and they pulled me in the palace. What are you talking about? This is a critique. Oh, yeah, I'm critical, absolutely. But at the same time, I salute the health system. I salute the education. I salute the fact that he stood up in the face of American imperial power, 630 assassination attempts, fought back against the Bay of Pigs, and affirmed, most importantly, the greatness of the Cuban people. They suffered under Batista, and they did suffer under Castro in terms of his repression of dissenting voices, but at the same time, they now emerge powerful again. And I think it's a magnificent history of the Cuban people. But Castro has always, for me, been a fascinating figure, heroic figure, but still I was very critical of repression and not rotating, not having the kind of turnover in leadership that I would have liked to see. But he's one of the great revolutionary communists of the 20th century, and as a revolutionary Christian, I love him.
Well, on that note, I want to thank you for being with us, Dr. Cornel West, Professor Emeritus of Princeton University. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Democracy Now! When we come back, we'll look at one of the cabinet picks of Donald Trump, Education Secretary, and what it means for public education in America. Stay with us.